Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex, and today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on July 1st, 2025, so about a week ago. This paper introduces a new benchmark and finds that specially trained models can judge creative writing with 78% accuracy, outperforming even the strongest off-the-shelf LLMs. The paper is titled LitBench, a benchmark and dataset for reliable evaluation of creative writing. And it offers a new way to tackle the very tricky problem of judging creativity. The authors built this benchmark from thousands of human preferences and show that it can be used to create better automated judges for stories. Alright, so to build this LitBench dataset, the authors followed a really careful filtering process, which we can see here. First, on the left, they filtered individual stories from Reddit's WritingPrompts, keeping only those with at least 10 upvotes and a specific length, while removing non-story comments. Then, on the right, they paired these stories up. To make the comparisons meaningful, they only used pairs with a clear difference in upvotes and worked to remove common biases. For instance, ensuring the model wouldn't just prefer longer stories. This careful process is key to creating a reliable benchmark. Building on that point about removing bias, this chart shows exactly how they fixed the tendency to prefer longer stories. The horizontal axis is the difference in length between the story humans preferred and the one they rejected. The original data, in pink, is skewed right, meaning preferred stories were often longer, but the final dataset, in purple, is much more symmetrical. This forces the AI judge they're building, called a reward model, to learn about actual quality, not just pick the longer story. A reward model is an AI trained to score outputs based on human preferences. Okay, so after all that careful dataset preparation, this chart shows the main results. It compares different types of AI judges based on how often their preferences agree with humans. On the right, you have the zero-shot LLMs, basically off-the-shelf models without special training. The best one reaches about 73%. But on the left, the reward models, specially trained on LitBench, do better, hitting 78%. What's really fascinating is that adding chain of thought, a technique that makes models reason step by step, actually hurt performance, which is a surprising finding for this kind of creative task. And these next plots really drive home why the LitBench dataset is so effective. The chart on the left shows that the specific type of AI judge used here, a Bradley-Terry reward model, which learns from head-to-head comparisons, achieves a higher accuracy when trained on the LitBench data, shown in blue. The plot on the right then confirms the debiasing worked. A model trained on simpler data gets much more accurate as the chosen story gets longer. It's just picking the long one. But the LitBench model's accuracy is much more stable, proving its judging quality. Finally, to really put their trained model to the test, the authors ran a human study on newly generated stories. They showed people pairs of stories, one that their best Bradley-Terry reward model chose, and one it rejected. The results here are pretty clear. Human evaluators preferred the model-chosen story 57% of the time. This is a solid win, especially when compared to the 41% preference for the story the model rejected. This result confirms the model's judgment truly aligns with human taste, outperforming a standard LLM judge on this task. This table then gives us a closer look at the performance of those standard, off-the-shelf LLM judges. The middle column shows their accuracy on the LitBench test set, which only includes stories written after January 2023 to ensure a fair test. As you can see, the best model, Claude 3.7 Sonnet, agrees with human preference about 73% of the time. This is pretty good, but it still falls short of the 78% accuracy we saw from the models specially trained on the LitBench data. So, to wrap up our discussion on this paper, the big takeaway is that specialized training on a carefully curated dataset really matters for creative tasks. The reward models, which are AIs specifically trained on human preferences, significantly outperformed even the best off-the-shelf LLMs. And perhaps most interestingly, the authors found that chain-of-thought reasoning, a technique that forces step-by-step thinking, actually hurt performance here. This work provides a fantastic new resource for building better AI storytellers. That's all for this segment. Thanks for listening to the AI Research Roundup.